Good evening, citizens of Portsmouth, invited guests, all in attendance tonight. Thank you for being here to our city council meeting. I also want to acknowledge our city staff who is here with us tonight. Thank you all for being here. And our deputy city manager, Dr. Coleman, is here with us tonight. And of course, our city attorney, Ms. LaVonda Graham Williams, and my colleagues on council. I call this meeting to order and ask now for Pastor Z. Dolphus Hall, Liberty Life Church, to provide our invocation. Afterwards, please remain standing for our Pledge of Allegiance. Pastor.
Thank you for the opportunity to pray at this meeting. Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for this day, for this is the day that you have created. Lord, let us rejoice and be glad in it. God, you are the Alpha, the Omega, the beginning and the end. We give you all the glory, the honor, and the praise in advance of the outcome of this meeting tonight. God, we know that you are the creator of all things, to include this body of government under the sound of my voice. You gave us wise counsel, as Proverbs 31:8-9 says, speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves, for the rights of all who are destitute. Speak up and judge fairly. Defend the rights of the poor and needy. Let us conduct ourselves in decency and in order as we care for the people of Portsmouth, Virginia. We pray for crime reduction. We pray for those in need and those who need assistance. We pray for community engagement to be unified and on one accord. God, let it be so. In conclusion, God, we want to say thank you. Thank you for our citizens who are here, for their concern for this great city. Thank you for our city staff and officials, elected and appointed, who labor day in and who labor day out. That does not go unnoticed. Their labor is not in vain. Thank you. May this meeting go according to your will. Let us line our hearts up with yours. For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. In Jesus' most matchless and heavenly name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Pastor Hall. I would ask my colleagues to please note your attendance electronically.
7 members of City Council are present.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Our next item, we will have the minutes. We have the minutes of a called meeting on September 23rd, 2025, and a regular meeting on September 23rd, 2025, and a called meeting on October 3 through October 4, 2025. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
Move adoption.
Second.
Please vote electronically.
The minutes are adopted 7-0.
We're now moving into the part of our agenda for a presentation, and at this time, I would ask that Attorney LaVonda Graham Williams please join me up front.
I don't think so. Just hold 1 second. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. White. I'm gonna take a moment, so bear with me because this is hard. I remember when I met this young lady, she shared with me her history here in the city of Portsmouth, and all I could imagine was a young girl growing up in the city of Portsmouth, going through Portsmouth public schools, having amazing parents and an amazing family, and all she really wanted to do was to become a lawyer. And so through her hard work and dedication and perseverance, I heard her say that one of the greatest joys of her life and one of the best things that she could do to show her parents that she was as amazing as they know she is was to become a lawyer. And so listening to that story, I thought about, imagine being someone coming from a place, growing up in a community, and coming back to that community you grew up in and becoming the first woman city attorney in the city of your birth. That's amazing. That's amazing. And I told her, I said, when she interviewed, I said, I like this lady. And it was only because if you want a salesperson and a very good lawyer, you want LaVonda Graham Williams. But most importantly, in all seriousness, we're losing a top-tier professional in the city. But we're gaining an amazing human being that's going to be a judge in our court system, and I think that's the better deal. So I know I won't share all the backstories between me and Madam Attorney, but I would not want anyone else on the bench to mete out justice and fairness in the best possible way than this lady. And I am grateful as the mayor to have had the opportunity and be here in this time in history to witness you and watch you grow and develop and watch you continue to move on to greater heights. So on behalf of a grateful city and a grateful city council, we appreciate you, ma'am.
Thank you.
And we appreciate your service.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
The mic is yours.
Oh, the flowers. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
You can't talk.
You're right. I can't. I wasn't prepared for this. That was very sneaky, Mayor. This has been one of my greatest accomplishments of my career, to be able to come back and serve the city that I love so much. It's the place of grace and grit, and I wouldn't want to do what I've done anywhere else. I love this city. I love all of these people here that I've gotten to serve with. Deborah White, you know how I feel about you, Deborah White, and Mayor. We've had our knockdown, drag-outs, but at the end of the day, we've all grown very much from it, and I appreciate everything that you've done for me. This council, the other councils, and the councils that come next, I hope I left my mark, and I'm so glad to be able to see this city continue to grow. So thank you everybody, for my family that's watching. Thank you guys, my sisters in DC that are looking out for me, and everyone here in the chamber today. Thank you all.
Now, hold on. I don't want you to walk away yet, because I know the mayor made some comments, but I want to give my colleagues an opportunity, because this is a team effort. So do any of my colleagues wish to, you can start with Councilwoman Thomas, ma'am.
I'm going to keep it short, but City Attorney Graham, soon to be Judge Graham, as a new councilwoman, I just can't thank you enough for what your guidance has meant in just being successful and being in this new role as a councilwoman. I've had the pleasure to sit next to you in our work sessions, and how many times you lean over to me and, maybe correct something or just, give me that little nudge. The word I think about with you is authority. You always tell me to speak with authority, and you speak with authority to us. It takes a lot of relationship and just the way you do it, the way that you keep us all in line, keep us all legal, is a sight to behold. And you're not going to be easily replaced. You're definitely going to be missed. And as a fellow Greyhound, I can't tell you how proud I am to see someone from IC Norcom step into the role of judge right here in the city. So thank you for continuing to inspire me and inspiring others. Really love you. Thank you.
Councilman Dawson.
There are very few people that can look at me with a smile and say, "You're wrong, don't do that." And you're one of those that I can look at and say, yes, ma'am, and it's a wonderful to see that bright, beautiful smile coming across, to know that whatever you're saying in love. And that's just makes you a great person. Thank you.
Councilwoman Bryan?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This has been an honor to serve with you on this council, Lavonda, and you are absolutely an inspiration. It was a big step to join council, and I have felt so wonderfully supported by the staff across the board, but in particular in working with you. And you have this wonderful way of explaining legalities, but in a very relatable, understandable, personal way. And that's what makes you so wonderful at this job. And I wish you the best of luck in your next adventure. You're going to be great, and we're going to be there to support you along the way as much as we can. So thank you absolutely for everything.
And before I go to Councilman Tillage, I know I'm walking out of order, but I did share with Judge Graham Williams that I do not want to see her in her courtroom. Councilman Tillage, sir, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mayor. Attorney Graham Williams, first of all, I want to thank you for being that first person, when city staff, to have embraced me as a new council person a few years ago and guiding me through the proper channels on how to get things done. And one of the biggest things I've learned from you is never ask an attorney, can it be done, but how it can be done. I just wish you well in all your future endeavors. And you didn't get it right by going to IC Norcom, but you tried to correct the course by sending your children to Churchland High School. So I do appreciate that. There you go.
Councilman Hugel.
Madam City Attorney and Madam Judge, I'm going to break a council rule and share something that was said in closed session. It was one of the very first closed sessions that I sat in. We were discussing some case, and you said, "I'm a fighter." And that stuck, I think, with all of us. So you have fought for our city, fought to do the right thing on behalf of the city, and we're looking forward to our continued relationship. As I shared with you at our most recent council retreat, we're going to send you breakfasts of rusty nails so that you continue to own that fighting attitude that's served us so well. So we wish you best in your new position.
Vice Mayor Moody.
The Vice Mayor is going to read something here, and bear with me. And if I ever appear in your court, don't hold it against me either. There once was an attorney, a prosecutor true. Lavonda Graham Williams made her mark in view. Justice she served, the guilty she'd face. Her verdicts were golden, her honor a grace. Her name traveled far, her reputation grand, respected and known across the land. Yet back in her town, in City Hall's halls, they longed for a lawyer who'd answer their calls. Cases piled high, the pressure was tight. They needed a champion to set things right. You might say the city was in a jam. Then stepped up the hometown girl the locals knew as Lavonda Graham. With courage and heart, she rose to the stand, a voice for the people with a firm guiding hand. The town cheered aloud and spirits anew, for Lavonda Graham Williams had come home, and justice did too.
Oh, wow.
Thank you all. This was lovely. Definitely we'll talk about it later. Thank you, Mayor.
You got it. Wow, Vice Mayor. That was pretty good. So we'll give Madam Attorney a chance to sit down, and then we will move on with the agenda. Thank you all. And Madam Clerk, would you please read the council rules?
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, City Council rules require a limit of up to 5 minutes to speak. As you approach the speaker's podium, you will notice a timer. At the beginning of your 5 minutes, you will see a green light. 4 minutes into your remarks, you will notice a yellow light. At the end of 5 minutes, you will see a red light, hear a beep, and we ask that you conclude your comments at that time. While speakers have an opportunity to address council on matters of public concern, all comments should be made in a manner that respects the seriousness of the forum and should not be made in a belligerent, sarcastic, or demeaning fashion. All remarks shall be directed to the City Council as a body rather than to any particular member of City Council, staff, or the audience, and should be limited to matters that only the Portsmouth City Council can influence. A speaker who fails to observe this basic rule of decorum will be deemed out of order and not allowed to conclude his or her comments.
Thank you, ma'am. We're now moving on to the next item on our agenda, public hearings. Item 25-299, public hearing on use permit and code amendment applications. Item A, UP-25-10. And Madam Clerk, would you please read the public hearing resolution we're considering for this item?
Yes, sir. Link District Resolution granting the request of G. Palmer for a use permit to operate a drug and alcohol treatment facility at 901 Enterprise Way in the General Mixed Use Zoning District. The property is owned by Mayfair Alps LLC. The future land use map of the Bill 1 Portsmouth Comprehensive Plan designates this property for commercial uses. Planning Commission recommends approval with conditions. The actual resolution reads, a resolution granting a use permit, UP 2510, to G. Palmer to operate a drug and alcohol treatment facility at 901 Enterprise Way.
Thank you, ma'am. Is the applicant present? If you would come forward, state your name and address, sir. You will have 10 minutes.
Thank you, Mayor Glover, members of City Council, city staff. My name is Grady Palmer. My business address is 222 Central Park Avenue in the city of Virginia Beach, and it's a pleasure to be here tonight. I really want to appreciate Pastor Hall's words, and he said to speak out and remember those that are in need. And this proposal is a conditional use permit to operate a drug and alcohol treatment recovery facility. It's a residential facility at 901 Enterprise Way. The facility is currently an assisted living facility. It's been operating for many years. So it's perfectly situated for a conversion from residential assisted living to residential drug and alcohol recovery services. And so that's what's being presented tonight. And I just want to say that it is an underserved population, and not just Portsmouth, but everywhere. That there are many people that need recovery services, and there just is not the infrastructure to handle that. And so I'm very pleased to represent this project tonight. I'm here tonight with the project's consultant, Mr. Michael Rothstein, who will, if approved, will help the facility get licensed, staffed, operational, every element that will make up this facility, and can answer any questions that you have about how the facility would operate. But there is a need for this, not just in Portsmouth, but in all of Hampton Roads. I believe there is only one residential treatment facility in Portsmouth. I could be wrong, but that's what I believe to be true. So, and there's a need. There's even more than this one. I think there is a need for several more. One of the things that's important in talking about these facilities is, it's important that they're institutional in nature, but it's also important that it not be institutionalized. And I think this particular property is a good fit for this. It is in the community. It's near residential, but it's set up as a medical use, public health use right now. So I think it strikes a good balance between giving people access to institutional land uses and assistance, but not isolating them. And that's, I think, a really important part of siting these facilities. So I think this is a really good location for this proposed facility, and I want to thank the staff for all their work and recommendation, and the Planning Commission recommendation as well. With that, Mr. Rothstein is here to answer questions if you have any about the facility, but I do ask for your approval tonight. You can see there, it's right there on Enterprise and Fort. That's the existing Mayfair Assisted Living Facility. So like, again, it's a perfect balance between the need to institutionalize these land uses, but include them in the community so they don't stigmatize residents. So I think this is a great site for this. I do ask for your approval, and I'll stand by for any questions that you have.
Thank you, Mr. Palmer. Are there any questions for Mr. Palmer from my colleagues? Mr. Okay, so you have to first refer to Dr. Coleman so that he can ask for permission to be granted to speak to.
To make sure I'm clear in understanding of this going through, this is a special,
Well, first of all, you need to present it to Mr. Coleman because Mr. Coleman has to get his staff to be able to address your concern. Are you asking a question of the zoning person or
Yes.
administrator?
Yes.
Okay, or the zoning planning director, okay. Mr. Coleman?
Yes, sir, Councilman Dodson.
So if I understand, this is by a special use permit. In other words, it's approved by zoning, but only if it comes before us as a board.
I'm going to get Dr. Russell to elaborate on that. Dr. Russell?
Yes, sir. Dr. Dobson, the ordinance permits this as a use with the approval of a conditional use permit.
I think that's what I was looking for, the conditional use permit. And the second question to follow that up was, so it was a residential, or it is currently a residential, and now we're keeping it as a residential?
It's currently an assisted living facility. Mayflower, I believe, is the commercial operator, that, if approved, will be converted to a substance abuse rehabilitation facility.
But my understanding is there's similar use.
Yes, sir.
Right. Thank you.
Yes.
Are there any other questions from my colleagues for Mr. Palmer or the applicant? I do have a question, sir, if you would come back forward. In reading the backup documentation for this particular item, what kind of security measures do we have in place? I did read, for example, there's key fob, restricted access for the building and those, but what about outside of the building? Are there any other security measures that we have? Is there a security plan in the event that something goes the way it's not supposed to go?
Yes, sir. Mr. Rothstein will answer that question.
Okay, very good.
Good evening. My name is Michael Rothstein, Rothstein. To answer your question, as far as security is concerned, if I can just explain a little bit about the facility. So this is a residential care facility. So the residents will be there for upwards of 30 days. So it is not a come and go facility. The clients do not drive there. They're transported there. And so if you think of it like a hospital where someone's there for long-term care. As far as security goes, we have security cameras set up in all the common areas inside and around the perimeter of the building. As far as de-escalation or things like that, all of the staff is trained to handle de-escalation. There is medical staff on site to handle any sort of medical emergencies. Of course, they will call 911 if need be. But we've never experienced anything to the extent that would require on-site security guards or anything like that. This is not like a methadone clinic or something like that. For all intents and purposes, you'll drive by this and you won't see anybody because they'll all be inside receiving care.
Thank you, sir.
Sure.
Are there any other questions? Seeing none, ladies and gentlemen, this is a public hearing. Excuse me, ma'am. This is a public hearing, and I will announce that it is open for speakers to come and speak. Please just be patient, and I will get there. This is a public hearing, and as such, you are not required to have signed up to speak on this public hearing item. If you do wish to come and speak, you can come to the front and state your name and address, and you will have 5 minutes.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Donna Biggs, and I live in the Woodbine Farms. What I was interested in, at EDA, they talked about the Link District, and someone was speaking and everything, but I didn't see any information about this project that they want to include. So that's why I'm asking, was it presented to be part of that conversation or not?
Thank you, ma'am. This is a public hearing use permit for this item, which is located in that area. Are there any other speakers who wish to come forward and speak on this public hearing item? Seeing none, then this public hearing item is closed. Council members, we're in need of a motion and a second.
Move for adoption.
Second.
Any additional discussion on this item? Seeing none, please vote electronically.
This item is adopted 7-0.
Thank you, ma'am. The next item, item B, CA-25-02. And Madam Clerk, would you please read the public hearing ordinance we are considering on this item?
Yes, sir. Citywide ordinance granting the request of the City of Portsmouth proposes to amend Chapter 33.1 of the City Code subdivision ordinance to update specific provisions to ensure consistency and compliance with amendments to the Virginia Code as enacted through HB 2660 and SB 974, which became effective on July 1st, 2025. Planning Commission recommends approval. The actual ordinance reads, an ordinance amending and reordaining Chapter 33.1 subdivisions of this Code of the City of Portsmouth, Virginia, including Article 1, General Provisions, Article 2, Procedures and Documents to be filed, and Article 3, Requirements for Design and Minimum Improvements for the purpose of making amendments required by state law.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Do we have the applicant here to present?
The city is the applicant.
I understand that. I was getting ready to get to Dr. Russell and welcome her to the podium. Welcome, Dr. Russell. Ma'am, you have the floor.
Good evening, everyone. The City of Portsmouth is required to amend our subdivision ordinance to comply with recent changes to the Code of Virginia, which now make the entire subdivision review process an administrative process. Previously, our Planning Commission reviewed major subdivisions for compliance with our comprehensive plan, major right-of-way improvements, and that will still occur, but it will occur administratively. Additional changes to the subdivision ordinance that are required per the code include release of sureties as the developer applicant completes certain phases of the subdivision review process, and it adds timeliness requirements for the review process, which will result in greater efficiencies and hopefully less costs for our development community. We are required to implement these requirements, as was stated in the review of the application. They became effective July 1, and so in practice, we have already begun implementing and reviewing subdivision plats in this manner. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions from our members of our community or our council members as directed.
Thank you, ma'am. And are there any questions from my colleagues on council? Seeing none, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a public hearing item. If you wish to come speak on this public hearing item, you're not required to have signed up. If you do come forward, please state your name and address, and you will have 5 minutes. Seeing none coming forward, ma'am, please come forward, state your name and address.
I'm Donna Biggs. I live in the Woodbine Farms. This is a very confusing ordinance, and I think it needed to be reviewed with some of the people, such as me. I'm a visual action person, and so seeing it, it doesn't make sense to me. So y'all are going to approve it anyway, whether I know about it or not.
Thank you, ma'am. If there's anyone else who wishes to come forward and speak on this public hearing item, this is your opportunity. You will come forward, state your name and address. You will have 5 minutes. Seeing none, this public hearing item is closed. Council members, we are in need of a motion and a second.
Move adoption.
Second.
Any additional discussion? Seeing none, please vote electronically.
This item is adopted 7-0.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. We're now moving to the city manager's report item on the agenda, and I will need a motion to consider the city manager completing the city manager report with one vote.
Move adoption.
Councilman Hugel, sir, you have the floor.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I move to adopt the city manager report items 25-300 all the way through 25-317 using one vote.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Madam Clerk,
Voting electronic. Voting
please vote electronically.
This item is adopted 7-0. All right. Ready? City Managers Report 25-300. Adoption of an ordinance accepting funding in the amount of $2,700 from the Virginia Department of Social Services and appropriating said amount in the FY 2026 Social Services Fund for Family Partnership Meeting Incentive Program. 25-301, adoption of an ordinance authorizing payment to escheat funds from the tax sale of 3506 Blaine Street to Edward Cedric Wright, Janine Dolores Gaines, Carol Deans, Terry Deans McFarland, and Gayla Catherine Wright Molina, as authorized by Section 58.1-3967 of the Virginia Code, and appropriating the sum of $27,146.94 from the fund balance of the general fund to the FY 2026 general fund budget for a said purpose. 25-302, adoption of an ordinance accepting $1,500,000 from the Virginia Department of Housing and Community Development and appropriated said amount in the FY 2026 grants fund for use by 4Kids, Inc. to expand eviction prevention programs and provide targeted support for McKinney-Venti eligible children and youth in the region. 25-303, adoption of an ordinance accepting Rescue Squad Assistance Grant Program funds in the amount of $180,000 from the Office of Emergency Medical Services and appropriating said amount in the FY 2026 grants fund for use by the Department of Fire, Rescue, and Emergency Services. 25-304, adoption of an ordinance accepting aid to localities funding in the amount of $548,023 from the Virginia Department of Fire Programs and appropriating said amount in the FY 2026 grants fund for use by the Department of Fire, Rescue, and Emergency Services. 25-305, adoption of an ordinance accepting a grant in the amount of $7,366 from the U.S. Department of Transportation, National Highway Traffic Safety Administration through the Virginia Highway Safety Office and appropriating said funds in the FY 2026 grants fund for use by the Portsmouth Police Department to deter driving under the influence. 25-306, adoption of an ordinance accepting a grant in the amount of $11,644 from the U.S. Department of Transportation, National Highway Traffic Safety Administration through the Virginia Highway Safety Office and appropriating said sum in the FY 2026 grants fund for use by the Portsmouth Police Department to improve traffic safety in Portsmouth. 25-307, adoption of an ordinance accepting with appreciation the donation by the DeLong Company, Inc. of a 20-foot container for use by the Portsmouth Police Department Mounted Patrol Unit. 25-308, adoption of an ordinance accepting STEP VA funding in the amount of $285,612 from the Virginia Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Services and appropriating said funds in the FY 2026 Behavioral Healthcare Service Fund for use by BHS to provide targeted case management, care coordination, and psychiatric rehabilitation. 25-309, adoption of an ordinance accepting substance use disorder developmental disabilities funding in the amount of $167,577.96 from the Virginia Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Services and appropriating said funds in the FY 2026 Behavioral Health Care Service Fund for use by BHS to expand community-based substance use treatment services. 25-310, adoption of an ordinance accepting baseline federal block grant funding in the amount of $1,280,937 from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services through the Virginia Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Services, and appropriating said funds in the FY 2026 Behavioral Health Care Service Fund for use by BHS to provide community mental health services and substance abuse prevention and treatment. 25-311, adoption of an ordinance accepting crisis intervention team funding in the amount of $305,949 from the Virginia Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Services and appropriating said funds in the FY 2026 Behavioral Health Care Service Fund for use by BHS to assist with operation of the Crisis Intervention Team Assessment Center at Maryview Hospital. 25-312, adoption of an ordinance accepting jail diversion funding in the amount of $50,451 from the Virginia Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Services and appropriating said funds in the FY 2026 Behavioral Health Care Service Fund for use by BHS to expand diversion efforts. 25-313, adoption of an ordinance accepting projects for assistance in transition from homelessness program funds in the amount of $53,715 from the Virginia Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Services and appropriating said amount in the FY 2026 Behavioral Health Care Service Fund for the provision of services to the homeless and those at risk of becoming homeless. 25-314, adoption of an ordinance accepting problem gambling prevention funding in the amount of $25,000 from the Virginia Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Services and appropriating said amount in the FY 2026 Behavioral Health Care Service Fund for use by BHS to provide services designed to address problem gambling. 25-315, adoption of an ordinance accepting STEP VA funding in the amount of $12,440 from the Virginia Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Services and appropriating said funds in the FY 2026 Behavioral Health Care Service Fund for use by BHS to provide same-day access to services, case management, and psychiatric rehabilitation. 25-316, adoption of a resolution authorizing employees of the city to analyze the specifics, advantages, disadvantages, and long and short-term costs of proposals submitted under the Public-Private Education Facilities and Infrastructure Act of 2002. 25-317, adoption of a resolution approving and authorizing the city manager to execute and deliver a First Amendment to agreement for use and support of solid waste disposal system with the Southeastern Public Service Authority. And these are adopted by electronic roll call.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Having read all the CMRs into the record, I need a motion and a second to approve.
Move adoption.
Second.
Any further discussion on these items? Seeing none, please vote electronically.
1 second.
Hold on, hold on. You all moving fast.
It's okay.
Patient.
You will make the motion, Lisa. Okay, now you can vote.
Please vote electronically.
These items are adopted 7-0.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Yes, sir.
Our next item, new business, item 25-318, boards and commissions. Councilman Hugo, are there any boards or commissions to report this tonight?
Mr. Mayor, we have no board and commission business to report tonight.
Thank you, sir. Our next item, item 25-319, items submitted by council members. Councilman Tillage, sir, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mayor. Early this month, I was able to participate in a community cleanup that was hosted by some members of the Clean Community Commission. And for this event, we were able to go on the streets of Godwin and South Street, where within an hour's time frame, we were able to collect 26 bags of trash. With that being said, I want to encourage our citizens to get engaged with our Clean Community Commission, take part in their meetings, take part in their community cleanups. They are looking for neighborhoods and civic leagues to be able to partner with to host these types of cleanups. And it was actually pretty, what's the word? It relieved some stress just to be able to walk down the street and pick up trash for an hour. So I just want to encourage everybody to, please take care of our community, take care of your community, and let's clean up our city. Next, this past weekend, I was able to attend the trunk or treat that was hosted by our police department in the haunted house. And I will say that they did a very, very good job with that. And to know that we had students from Churchland High School, as well as New Generation Marching Band that were a part of the theatrics of bringing the horror to life. It was really fun and interesting to see the kids enjoy it. The adults enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. So kudos to our police department and the police chief. And last but certainly not least, this month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And I just want to pay honor and homage to the survivors of breast cancer, to the men and women who we've lost due to breast cancer, and encourage people to please take care of your body. You know your body. Please go take advantage of the mammogram facility that's now in Portsmouth to get those annual checkups. You know yourself better than anybody else, and if something doesn't feel right or something looks abnormal, please get it checked out. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Hugel, sir, you have the floor.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. I move to add an item to the agenda pertaining to the appointment of an interim city attorney.
Do we have a motion and a second to add the item to the agenda?
Move adoption.
Second.
Any discussion on this item? Please vote electronically.
He just messed it up. It's okay, we'll make it work. This item is adopted 7-0. Now the second part.
Mr. Mayor, I move to appoint Derek Challenger, interim city attorney, beginning the 7th of November, 2025, at a salary of $192,500.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion on this item? Any additional discussion? Seeing none, please vote electronically.
This item is adopted 7-0.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Moody, sir, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mayor. Today is National First Responders Day, and I'd just like to thank our first responders for their service, their dedication. I don't know where we'd be without them. October the 28th is the day to honor them, and we certainly appreciate what they do for our city. So just wanted to mention that.
Thank you, sir. Councilwoman Bryant, ma'am, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, it's been a very busy fall in October with lots of events, so it's been a pleasure seeing council at many, many local events and getting time to interact with all of you out in the community. So wanted to also say we enjoyed the trunk or treat. We also made a trip to the haunted light ship, which you've never been to the light ship before. It's very fun to see it decked out for Halloween. Many of us attended the 50th anniversary of Safety Town, which was also a wonderful celebration of that special place. It's been teaching children to be safe for decades, and I know it holds a very fond spot in many of our hearts as parents and as students who attended. We all also were able to get out to High Street Fest, which was a wonderful celebration of our community, and brought together music and food and shopping downtown. And lastly, being Breast Cancer Awareness Month, I do want to also point out that the Women's Imaging Center on Portsmouth Boulevard is offering 2 new programs. One is aimed at women who are uninsured and or low income, and the other is aimed at women who are high risk. So if you know someone who falls into any of those categories, the location at 5600 Portsmouth Boulevard has information, and please make sure that you stay on top of your checkups. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, Councilwoman Thomas. Ma'am, you have the floor.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. So, just some news I know we've all been following with the government shutdown and the possibility of SNAP benefits being impacted as early as this Saturday, November 1st. And I want to first thank City Manager, Mr. Carter, for providing council with the impact assessment for the city. And although we can't directly make the government reopen or impact SNAP benefits not being available, we do know that there's real impact to the residents in our city, approximately 22,000 as we were reported. So Mr. Carter, he did provide us an update about just some things that the city, just a framework in terms of response called Portsmouth Cares. And I just wanted to, I know Mr. Carter's out, but for Mr. Coleman, do you have any update on that possibility of that Portsmouth SNAP updates? I know we were going to possibly create an update page on our city website or any other information that might be available for our citizens in preparation of an unfortunate event such as the loss of SNAP benefits impacting 22,000 residents in Portsmouth.
Mr. Mayor.
Dr. Carter, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mayor.
Excuse me. Dr. Coleman, I'm sorry. Dr. Carter.
I know what you meant, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, sir. Councilwoman Thomas, no new updates as far as the reports that you received from Mr. Carter. There has been an edict that has come down from the governor stating what the Commonwealth of Virginia will be doing. So that preempted some of the measures that we were putting in place, and he'll have it covered for this first cycle around in the month of November. If it rolls out to December, then we may have to enact some of those things. But right now, the state of the emergency that the governor issued has the state of Virginia covered.
Well, I wasn't sure if we were fully aware of that yet, especially in terms of how much would be covered and the potential gap that our citizens might be filling. So I know that we were having a list of possible food bank resources, other resources. And so can we get a date on, I would like to get a date on when that will roll out, because we know that there's a real impact in upcoming date of November 1st. And so I would hate for citizens to not have those benefits and also not have the resources of providing the gap and some local resources really by this weekend. So,
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Coleman.
Yes, sir.
Councilman Hugel.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Mayor. So while we're on that topic, Dr. Coleman, one of the things that the city manager mentioned in his note to us is that we were looking into deferring payments of city liabilities, utility bills to the city, similarly to what we did during the pandemic. In the last chat I had with the city manager, he mentioned that y'all were working on being able to allow our citizens that are living without a paycheck to do an online sign up. So get it that we need folks to sign up to defer payment rather than making it a blanket thing. In kind of follow up to what Councilwoman Thomas asked for, if you could also include where do we stand, at what point are we going to have the online sign up for deferral of utility payments made available to our neighbors?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you both. Dr. Coleman. I did want to let everyone know on October 3rd and 4th of of this month, we participated, we, the city council, participated in our second retreat of the year. And the purpose of that retreat was for us as a council body and team to get together with our leadership team and understand what our vision is, what we're focused on as we move toward our future of improving our city and making Portsmouth the best place to live, work, play, and raise a family. So we continue to strive for excellence in our city, and with your help, we'll make our city better together. Just wanted to let everyone know that was going on. Are there any other items to be submitted by council? Seeing none, then we'll move to the next item, item 25-320, report on pending items. Dr. Coleman, you have the floor.
Yes, sir. Thank you again, Mayor. The reports, and there are several of them that have been provided by Mr. Carter. They're all in your package. You can take a look at those. And that's all I have for that, Mr. Mayor.
Councilman Dodson, sir, you have the floor.
Yeah, I saw something online about the gift cards, and the report here seems to be a little bit behind the time. Are you able to update us on that at this time?
I'm not able to update at this time, Councilman Dodson.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Councilwoman Thomas, ma'am, you have the floor.
Yes, thank you. Just a follow-up as well, Dr. Coleman, on that gift card. There was some information that was provided on social media to our citizens, so I think that's what Councilman Dotson is referring to. Just want to make sure, for clarity for our public, those gift cards are available to seniors as well, right? Seniors, citizens.
Dr. Coleman, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, ma'am, they are.
Okay. I just want to make sure when we do the rollout that that's clear, the language and what was kind of shown to the public made that piece kind of not clear.
Okay.
So thank
Yeah,
you.
I'm not certain what was shown to the public. I don't know the social media post.
Okay.
But I do know the answer to your question, which, yes, seniors are available.
Okay, thank you for the clarity.
Councilman Hugel, sir, you have the floor.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Mayor. So, Dr. Coleman, one of the things that we have been following up on are the manholes on Cedar Lane. And we still have half a dozen manholes that are well below the grade. Could we get one maybe follow-up that like paints a date on the calendar for when we're going to have somebody out there fixing manholes, please?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Councilman Dotson, sir, you have the floor.
Thank you. Similarly, can we get an update on the Court Street project? I walked that the other day, and the alignment of the sidewalks is way off, and the holes are unprotected and waiting for a lawsuit, and I'm seriously concerned about the progress. So if we can get a timeline, not just an update, but a timeline as to how that's going to be tackled, I'd really appreciate that.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Our next item on the agenda is non-agenda speakers. And Madam Clerk, would you please read the speaker statement?
Ladies and gentlemen, City Council rules require a limit of up to 5 minutes to speak. As you approach the speaker's podium, you will notice the timer. At the beginning of your 5 minutes, you'll see a green light. 4 minutes into your remarks, you will notice a yellow light. And at the end of 5 minutes, you will see a red light, hear a beep, and we ask that you conclude your comments at that time. While speakers have an opportunity to address council on matters of public concern, all comments should be made in a manner that respects the seriousness of the forum and should not be made in a belligerent, sarcastic, or demeaning fashion. All remarks shall be directed to the City Council as a body rather than to any particular member of City Council, staff, or the audience, and should be limited to matters that only the Portsmouth City Council can influence. A speaker who fails to observe this basic rule of decorum will be deemed out of order and not allowed to conclude his or her comments.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. And our first speaker tonight is Mr. Leon Hammonds. Mr. Hammonds, if you would come forward, state your name and address. Sir, you will have 5 minutes.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council.
Could you please talk into the mic,
Oh,
sir?
I'm sorry.
To help us out a little bit. Thank you, Mr. Hammonds.
Haven't been here in a while.
Indeed.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. Gift cards. I understand you got something moving. I guess you could call it moving. But I am disappointed with the City Council, present City Council, and past City Council for it to have taken this long to get something moving on something that should have been done a long time ago. It doesn't make any sense to do that. The gift cards were bought in April 2022. First distribution of the cards was within 12 months of the purchase. The second distribution was outside of the 12-month period. Now, if anybody knows anything about gift cards, 9 times out of 10, you can't hold a gift card forever. You're going to lose it. You're going to lose the value. The 13th month on those gift cards that was bought, the value started dropping, $2.50. Because I know for a fact, because I got the second one myself, and it came out to $97.50. I said, wait a minute. How come $97.50? I haven't spent anything. I just got the thing. So I called the card company, and that's what they told me, $2.50 per month afterward. The city purchased 12,100 cards, $12,100 gift cards, and $4,500 gift cards. Now, I've received two figures on what's remaining. 1,689 $100 gift cards. That's one figure I just received a few days ago. Earlier this year, I received a notice there was 2,140 $100 gift cards. But with the $500 gift card, it remained at 314. Now, the 29th month, on May 23rd, on May 2023, with the 13th month, it started dropping right then. That was 29 months ago. 29 months ago. So you can do the figure, $2.50. So I don't know what they plan on giving out. Because for the simple fact is, $100 gift cards, to my figure, is worth $27.50. That's the $100 gift cards now. The $500 gift cards are worth $427.50. But the main thing is the icing on the cake. The city's gonna pay $18,850 to distribute $27.50 for the $100 gift cards. Now, I asked you now, I blame the present council and I blame the past council because they could have did the same distribution, continued to do the same distribution to all those cards was dispersed. There wasn't no problem on doing that. But $18,850, we do need money. I'll be honest with you, because really we wasted. And I thank you. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. And these last gift cards will be done over a 6 months period of time. Now, do the figures again. $27.50 over a 6 month period with $2.50 being deducted every month, starting next month. It's $27.50 this month. Start again next month. Now, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Our next speaker is Ms. Donna Biggs. Ms. Biggs, if you would come forward, state your name and address. You will have 5 minutes.
Good evening. My name is Donna Biggs, and I live in the Woodbine Farms neighborhood. And this item is about the feedback on the Legislative Affairs presentation last night. So, good evening, enforcers of the people's civil rights by our Virginia Constitution Bill of Rights. As a Virginian, I would like to share with you how I was affected by the Legislative Affairs presentation last night. I was concerned, first of all, by not being informed to be at the table when this meeting was called to make decisions regarding the needs of the people living and visiting our community. I would like to review with everyone how the government was created to meet the needs of the people. Needs are listed on a level of priority. See? Our first priority is to live by having our physiological needs met. They are met no matter what environment we are in. Our physiological needs include clothing, shelter, comfort, self-preservation, and even at work, our needs are having adequate compensation, rest periods, labor-saving devices, and efficient work methods. And the second level needs include our safety, security needs, and these needs include security for self and possessions, avoidance of risk, harm, and pain. In our work environment, our needs include fringe benefits, job security, sound policies and practices, proper supervision, safe working conditions. And the city has created a pay plan to provide for the needs of our workers. There's also the need for small business contractors to receive the same sound policies and practices to receive pay for work. So this is a journal that has been put together for a small business contractor that the city has not upheld their duty and responsibility for this small contractor to go without money to pay his bills. And a FOIA was not accomplished to follow up to make sure I have all the documents that what I'm saying is true. The third level is for social affiliation needs or the family. It is about companionship, acceptance, love, and affection. Group membership. At work, it includes opportunity to interact, network, team-based work, and friendly coworkers. The next level for the family is responsibility for self. Respect, recognition, sense of accomplishment, equity in the workplace. The needs are freedom to make decisions, status symbols, recognition awards, challenging work, opportunity for advancement, shared decision-making. And that ain't happening because I'm not part of any team because I'm excluded.
Thank you, ma'am. Our next speaker is Mr. William Richardson. Mr. Richardson, if you would come forward, state your name and address, you will have 5 minutes.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
Ms. Graham, you're leaving us, huh? Many battles. I want to piggyback off of what Ms. Donna Biggs said. There was a contract.
Sir, I need you to state your name and address for the record.
My name is William Richardson, also known as Bink Richardson, the
Yes,
owner of Richardson Top of the Line Tree Service, the first African-American ISA certified state arborist in the state of Virginia. Ms. Donna is absolutely correct. There was a contract that was not fulfilled, but there has been a runaround with it, and that's why I'm here. It's crazy that you try to do things so that it doesn't come to this point. We try to do things so it doesn't go public. Everything doesn't have to be public, all right? There was some mishaps where the city, certain people that run parts of the city agreed doing a voluntary cleanup at Lincoln Memorial Cemetery in May of 21, and no, they did not follow through. They did not follow through, and I had to turn around and follow through. I spoke with every city manager, even the present one, about this situation. One of the city managers was actually the chief financial officer at the time that said that I was supposed to be reimbursed for what I spent when Waste Management didn't do their job. I've asked for meetings, and I was told that I would not get the meeting because I'm supposed to be suing the city. I haven't hired an attorney. I asked for a meeting so we could try to do this without it being on the books. As a small business, no small business should be affected by your city. Your city should not benefit off a small business. My small business did contracts for the city that were not paid. One was paid, and what was it? It was just wiped away. There was threats, jail time, gunshots, everything behind cleaning a cemetery, behind doing something for the community, something that I did out of pocket and then didn't expect to have to come more out of pocket when the agreement from the city didn't happen. I keep hearing about, oh, there was no contract. At that time, there was no contract to do a voluntary act in the city. It came afterwards. So there had to be some type of understanding that this was done. I was thanked in this building by the council for the job that I did. I've had conversations with several city councilmen, vice mayors, mayors, and they know that I'm not trying to sue my city. Suing my city hurts my city. I just need my city to do right by the small business, whether you do it for me or the next small business. That's all I ask. And off the record, we've had conversations about not suing the city. On the record, we've had conversations about not suing the city, but for some reason, they think I'm trying to sue the city. I haven't hired anybody. I've come here now because I thought we would be able to come to some type of understanding to have a sit down to speak about this and look at the whole fact of the matter that, yeah, Waste Management dropped the ball and I ended up picking the ball up for them. So hopefully now that it's going to now be publicized, that which we didn't want to happen, maybe we can get to the bottom of it finally.
Thank you, sir. And our last speaker for the evening, Mr. David House. Mr. House, if you would come forward, state your name and address, sir. You will have 5 minutes.
Good evening, excuse me, Mayor, Vice Mayor, City
Good evening.
Council. So I come before you, so I live at Simonsdale section of Portsmouth. So I come before you in frustration with interaction by the city manager. So as you know, the House brothers are advocates for the city trying to make improvements and trying to make the city a better place. So reached out to, came to city council on August the 26th. And I approached y'all about a property at Harding and Progress Avenue. That's 2 residential properties that had houses, had cars, boats, all kinds of equipment on there, trailers, people living in there. And at that time, Mr. Carter said, was this going to be one of your things for next month? I said, no, I'm not going to give it to you that easy. I'm not going to give you the carrot. But 5 days later, I ended up on the 31st of August sending it to each and every one of you, city council, zoning wasn't on there, and city manager. So when I got my response back from him, per our agreement that he met with us, that item was not even on the agenda addressed. Plus another one that's listed on the front page was not addressed. And I addressed this back to him on October the 5th. So I just got my new data, and I'm still missing the ones from the previous month. So that's a character issue. He met with me. It took him 15 months to meet with me. He reached out to me the first day he was on the job and reached out and said, I want to speak to you and your brother because I want to see how we can envision to make the city a better place. And Mr. Vice Mayor, you're the one that says that the city can do sanctions or something against the properties or take action against the properties, levy taxes or whatever, because they're in such disarray. Okay? I'm just trying to identify properties that have been blighted in the community. I'm not trying to do anything other than saying, hey, why don't y'all go take a look at these properties for yourself? It hasn't changed in 2 months. It's the same place. There's 2 trailers on the property right now. Okay? People living in them. Okay? They were living in a Suburban. Rode by there. Date night's Thursday for us. We go in Suffolk, eat something, and we ride by this area just to see what it looks like. It's sad, okay, that no action has been done after we were promised that action would be taken. And so now, Deputy Manager, I guess this falls on you to take back to Mr. Carter and ask why he dropped the ball. So my issue is he gave us a time frame, okay? He didn't meet the first time frame, missed it by a day. The second time, I sent an email on Sunday night, 3 days after his time frame was late. And then he responded back to me at 11:30 at night with 3 issues, not 5. And this last one was a day late, okay? So this is council. Council, you're overcharged. You're in charge.
Mr. House.
Yes, sir.
Mr. House. One thing I need you to understand is we appreciate what you bring before council, and you have a right. But we put in our council rules and in the comments, we're not to call out individual names and all of those types of things because at the end of the day, we understand we as a city, our department heads are responsible for carrying out what the council oversees to get done, and that's our manager.
So I understand.
Sir, no, let me finish. So we're not going to have that anymore. We're
Yes,
not
sir.
going to call out and we're not going to call people that they're derelict or whatever. If you have something, hold on.
I didn't call him derelict,
You
sir.
did speak to the character issue. You spoke to the character. Sir, I'm not going to have a debate with
Okay.
you. You spoke to the character issue, and that's not acceptable. If
Okay.
you have something to bring before council, you have every right to do that. And we, as council, will take the appropriate steps if it is with the manager who reports directly to us as a council. So all I need you to do is continue on with your discussion as to what you want to say, leave out all of the extra stuff, and then we will conclude your comments.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Thank you.
Like I said, my concern is there was an agreement made that wasn't followed. And that's in your purview because the person is under you.
I'm in full understanding
Okay.
of what
And
his role is,
it's
sir.
just frustrating because it seems to me like y'all know and how we interact with y'all. And it's just like it was like just to appease us to have a meeting and for us to just go away and leave our issues and not for them to be addressed. That's what's frustrating, sir.
Thank you, sir. That concludes our speakers for the evening. Thank you all for coming tonight and share your comments with our city council. Have a safe evening. This meeting is adjourned.